and thank you for tuning in for yet another episode of TGIF Renegades.
Coming at ya!
I am Kenny, and this is my co-host and cousin Alex.
Hey, everybody!
So if you're still not familiar with the show, Alex and I, and probably you, were obsessed with TGIF on ABC. And since Alex and I basically learned everything we know from these shows...
Everything.
And we continue to be obsessed with them when we lived together after high school, before we got married, had our own families. Now we thought, how about every Friday we spend some time together rewatching and reviewing two of our favorites, Full House
and Family Matters.
Family Matters. So with that said, Alex, it's time to crack open a beer and get into this, because it's TGIF. So, last week, I mentioned Full House episode
You sure did.
is going to be the first day of school. So, for your sake, I decided to change things up today.
Oh, did ya?
We're going to go with Family Matters first.
Really?
Instead of Full House.
So you're trying to make me happy, is what you're saying.
Yeah. This way, you drink a few beers during Family Matters,
You want me to be a little looser.
Yeah.
For Full House.
Right. That's why.
Well, now I'm in a pretty good mood now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, we start with Family Matters.
Ooh. What are the Winslows getting themselves into this week?
Oh, this is a good one. It's called Short Story.
Okay.
So it's episode 3 of season 1.
I wonder, does that mean it's a short episode?
Thankfully, it's not.
Okay. Good.
This aired October 6th, 1989. The IMDb rating is 6.6, which is actually kind of bad.
Yeah, isn't it lower than episode 2?
Lower than
That was
episode 2 and episode 1, I think.
Wow.
So, as much as I loved the episode,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't. But I actually looked on IMDb. There's only like 200 votes for these. So.
Oh, did they even watch the episodes?
Right, probably not. Hopefully they go back and rewatch them and realize the gold.
After they listen to us talk about them, of course they are now.
Yeah. Episode 3 starts with a cold open.
Oh.
We go straight into the first cold open between the two shows.
Oh, okay.
I mean, of course, Family Matters is 2 years later, so I don't know if it technically beats Full House, but it's kind of cool. So the cold open is Laura, Judy, and Eddie are setting the table, and Eddie says, "Forks go on the left," and Laura says, "Right," and he says, "Oh, because most people are right-handed. That makes sense." But
this is why I love Eddie.
but she obviously was saying right as in correct instead of right.
See, I would have taken it the wrong way too.
I know you would have.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So then they're like, I mean, Judy and Laura are basically looking at Eddie like, "You dumbass."
Yeah.
and then Rachel comes in with pizza, and Eddie goes, "Good. With pizza, we eat with our hands." Like it was that big of an issue that he had to switch the forks from the... So then...
Some people do eat pizza with a fork, though.
They do, so he better still...
Now, those people have a problem. I'm sorry, I think they have a problem.
Yeah.
You don't eat pizza with a fork and knife or whatever.
Right,
like,
no.
You just... You pull a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you grab that pizza and let that cheese way up in the air. You do that.
Yeah, you get your hands dirty on pizza. That's... And now when you have dinner, do you set the table and make sure forks are on one side?
No, I just slam them on the table.
Like they're classy.
Well, I mean, early 90s. No, late 80s.
Late 80s.
Sorry, late 80s. I think families did sit around the dinner table and talk about their days and feelings.
Yeah, they weren't as in a rush as we are
today. Yeah. You know, before we get on going, this is a little off topic, but what was your favorite pizza back in the late 80s, early 90s?
Well, I didn't probably eat much pizza in the late 80s.
Okay, so 90s?
I guess I was 3 when...
I'm sure somebody gave you a little bit of a cut up, so they probably did use a fork and knife.
Yeah.
See? But what kind of pizza you like back then?
I always liked pepperoni growing up. I mean, pretty common.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Yeah.
I think I was using the bucket too.
The bucket, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Personal pan.
Yep.
Or
Or Little Caesars. pizza, pizza. You know, that kind of stuff.
So my 3-year-old Zoe does. She'll be staring at one of our phones, like watching YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Because we're great parents. Yeah. And me and Kelsey will be watching something else. Then a commercial for Little Caesars will come on, and she stops watching to go, pizza, pizza.
No way.
Yes, she loves it.
That's the cutest thing ever.
Yep. What's your favorite pizza now?
Okay, so some people are gonna hate me for this, but pineapple and ham.
Oh gosh, pineapple.
Yeah. You know what I really want to do though? I think this is a '90s thing. Is anchovies pizza, right? That's more of a '90s thing.
Yeah. Well, Ninja Turtles probably made that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Did it?
I think they did. They made that popular.
Probably.
So
yeah.
Anyways, back to it. And then everybody's on the bike around Chicago.
Yep.
And
biking it up.
So
the episode starts, and now we're in the living room with Laura handing out mail, most of which is going to Mother Winslow. And so she's handing
Oliver gentleman mailing her.
Right, probably. And then Mother Winslow looks at a letter and she says, "Oh, that's from Barbara Bush, who was First Lady at the time."
What?
Yeah. So Mother Winslow knows princes, as we know from the first episode.
Yeah.
And now presidents.
Wow.
So
this is crazy.
So then Carl's like getting aggravated because he's not getting any mail. And so she finally says, "Here's one," and it's the water bill.
Oh.
And he's of course mad that he just gets one bill. Or one piece of mail, and
that's
it's a bill.
Oh.
Yeah, and then...
poor Carl.
Yeah, then Laura says there's something for Rachel, and Carl quick jumps on it, and he's like, "I'll bring it to her. At least I'll feel important." Or something.
Now he's the mailman.
Yeah.
Feels good being the mailman.
Yeah. He looks like he could be a mailman.
Yeah, honestly.
It could be a good job.
They would have to get him a big satchel. Isn't that what mailmen wear? Satchels?
I think so, yeah. He'd be one that drives and drops them off, not walks.
Yeah, you're right.
Carl goes to deliver the mail to her, and it's from Sci-Fi magazine, and we find out that they rejected her short story.
Oh, man.
So, I don't know what, they just kind of disperse a little bit, and Carl starts complaining about the water bill being so high. Like, he says something like, what did we get a pool, and no one told me about it?
Are they in the kitchen?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Eddie comes in from washing the car, and Carl just goes off on him.
Well, what a good son.
Yeah.
Washing the family vehicle?
He was told to wash the car a week ago, but now he finally did it when it was inconvenient. So Carl goes off on him. They walk out of the kitchen, and Rachel tells Harriet what her story was about, which I'm not going to bore you with the craziness of sci-fi, because I would rather not talk about sci-fi ever.
I'm with you on that one.
And Harriet says she needs to just write about what she knows. Don't write about aliens and whatever else was happening in her story. So then Harriet goes to wash her hands, and the water doesn't turn on. And Carl comes walking in with a wrench in his hand and says that the water will be turned off for 4 hours a day to save water.
Okay. 4 hours in the middle of the day.
Sure. Okay. I don't know. Whenever he decides, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
It's up to Carl. He's the man of the house.
He is the man of the house.
So Harriet says, instead of turning off the water to save a few bucks, maybe we should just cut a meal or two. and Carl,
first fat joke of the episode. Check.
Yep, mark it down. So Carl quickly goes, and the water is back on. So now it appears maybe it's the next day. Rachel's kind of bumming in the kitchen, and Laura comes in apparently from school, and she says, "School's easy. The public school is designed for people as smart as Eddie."
Oh.
And now I went to private school. You went to public school.
Yep. What? You got something to say? I passed. Barely.
with the help from many
people.
Yeah.
Many people, yeah. I mean, okay, fine. Could be a little easier than a private school.
Right.
But
I mean, okay. I just...
Carry on.
Nothing against you.
Carry on, Laura. I mean, Kenny.
Well, so Carl then hears his voice from the living room, and he demands everyone to come in there. And he says, "Who left the sprinkler on all day?"
Oh,
like, they're having some water disasters going on.
How does he know somebody left the water on all day?
Because he talked about something about like needing a lifeboat to get to the front door.
Oh, wow.
Like that. So
the front yard was flooded, huh?
Yeah. So then they're all like, well, I didn't do it, and so then Eddie walks in the front door.
Oh, no.
And they all like stare, and he's pissed.
He knew it was Eddie.
Yeah, and Eddie's like
just being a good son again, huh?
Yep, yeah. I mean, you can't win for winning. You can't. What is the phrase? You
can't win for trying.
I don't know.
Something like that. That's that private school education Kenny got. Can't remember.
Well,
can't remember a saying.
Yeah, we didn't. There wasn't a class.
There was just always winning for you.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So Harriet says, "This water thing is getting out of hand," and then they all just kind of start yelling. I mean, they're just pissed at each other. This water situation has them all.
Everybody's gonna like disperse in the family because of this water issue, huh? He didn't leave it on for a long time.
I mean, if you went to school, if you turned it on before school,
was it school or work?
I think he was at school.
Was he? Okay, so he turned it on. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's 8-ish hours.
Yeah, that's a long time, Eddie.
Now my thing is, Mother Winslow wasn't home to turn that off.
Well, she was.
What was Rachel doing? She was bummed in the kitchen. She could have turned the damn water off.
Too busy drinking bottles of wine to take her sorrows away from not getting her sci-fi.
That could be. So everyone's yelling at once, and Mother Winslow says, I forgot about this. Mother Winslow says, I wonder if George and Barbara have an extra room for me. Talking about like the White House.
Sure they did.
So then everyone starts storming into the kitchen, and Laura says to Rachel, maybe you should write a story about the family. And like basically a light bulb.
Bingo!
Yep. Goes above Rachel's head because she's like, this is gold. So then it's been 2 weeks now. We're in the living room again, and Carl kind of comes. I think he's talking to Mother Winslow, and he says he's got the water situation under control now.
Well,
the bill's going down. Which, I mean, how often are you billed? I'm billed every 3 months for water.
Yeah, he's every 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, like, wow. Or is he calling people to make sure?
Maybe.
No, he was pissed. Laura and Judy bring in the mail. Then we kind of hop over to...
What is it with... Man, they love the mail.
Zoe loves the mail, too.
Oh,
she runs to get the mail from our...
No kidding.
We have the slot in our porch, so he pops it in the house, and Zoe runs, every day. And sometimes Elijah will say, I'll get it, and she, cries, because she's so ticked. She wants to get the mail.
She wants to get the mail. I've never been interested in getting that mail.
No. But I don't think they would be interested if they had to run to the mailbox. We don't have a mailbox, so
that's true.
Yeah. Anyways, we're getting out of control. We hop over to the kitchen where Rachel can't get little Richie to take his teething ring. So Harriet steps in and shows her how it's done.
Oh,
you know how? Do you remember how?
I think she puts a little something on the end of the teething ring.
She does. A little bit of applesauce.
Oh.
She says.
I wish I would have known that. Maybe my son.
Yeah.
He's 5 months? Almost 5 months old. Maybe he would have liked a teething ring.
Yeah, but he still has teeth to come in, right? Does he have all his teeth?
Oh, it's a teething ring. I was thinking, pacifier.
Oh, pacifier. No.
This is a
teething ring. When you get teeth, sometimes they can...
Well, thank you, Harriet.
Yes. Yep. Harriet saves the day. You better write that down. I'm going
to jot that down. It's in the old noggin right now.
Gosh.
Filed in the back.
All right.
So she puts the applesauce. It works, I'm guessing.
Yeah. He takes it right away. Just then, Laura brings the mail to Rachel, and she reads that her new short story was sold, and she and Harriet are pumped.
Woo!
Yep.
High five!
Yep. And she's all excited and is going to make copies for everyone to read it. Later that night, Carl, Harriet, Laura, Judy, and Mother Winslow, so everybody but Eddie and Rachel, are sitting around the table, and they all look pissed.
Oh.
They're reading the short story.
So she did get...
She got copies and apparently gave them to him and left. I don't know what... So they look ticked when Rachel comes in and says, what do you think about it? So they're all mad about how each of them are portrayed in the story. I didn't write down what they all said about it. So Carl says he comes off as like a tightwad or something.
Yeah.
And Mother Winslow is... Do you remember Mother Winslow's...
I think bitchy, maybe? I don't know, which is not at all right.
No. And then Laura is... I can't even remember hers. But Judy says...
I think Laura's was like attitude.
Yeah, something like a bad attitude or a nasty attitude and something. And but Judy goes, "You say I whine. I don't whine." It's so funny because it's such a whiny voice. It's perfect.
Honestly though, Judy should be happy she's even in the story because I would have been like, oh, there is that other child. Yeah. I forgot to put her in my story.
Yeah, it's true.
There is a forgotten child.
She lucked out. She got in the story somehow.
Yeah.
So,
did she put Little Richie in there?
I don't know. I don't think Little Richie was...
yeah, he was a baby.
Yeah,
what are you gonna say?
He was mentioned, she didn't say... He obviously wasn't pissed about how he was portrayed.
No, he's cool.
Yeah.
Eddie?
Now, yeah, I was just going to say, Eddie walks in, and he loves how he was portrayed, because he was portrayed as somebody who's good with the ladies.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
it is true.
Everyone else doesn't seem to agree with that interpretation of Eddie, but whatever. I think he is.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Real quick, who do you think is better with the ladies? Eddie or Uncle Jesse?
Oh.
From Full House. So little cross.
Uncle Jesse, obviously. We're only third episode in. Eddie's not...
I guess we haven't seen him...
He hasn't been good with the ladies that we know of.
Right.
But Uncle Jesse had Vanessa come track him down.
So right now, Uncle Jesse is
Uncle
better
Jesse's
with the ladies.
got 1 point to Eddie's zero right
points.
now.
Okay.
We'll keep track.
I'll keep track of that, yeah.
I know you will.
Jot that down.
So Harriet then goes off on Rachel about how she comes across as an overbearing older sister. And she then storms out, and the trouble music starts up while Rachel says, "Harriet, come on!"
It's terrible for this family to assume that this is about them. Because Rachel was like, this isn't really about you guys. It's just a imagination. A magical family. What is that word I'm looking for?
Imaginary
family. I'm talking
private
about.
School over here.
Yeah, sorry. Imaginal.
After the commercial happens, we see Rachel and Mother Winslow in the kitchen, and Rachel's basically explaining how writers embellish character traits a little, and that's all that she was doing. I don't know if Mother Winslow's buying it, but
no,
whatever. Carl,
she's still trying to get into the White House.
Yeah, she's
to live with George and Barbara.
Yep. Carl says he has convinced Harriet to talk to Rachel again. So they go into the living room to talk, and after some awkward silence and Carl suggesting that they go get ice cream, because he doesn't just flat out, they kind of say something, and then he's like, "All right, I think we're all good, let's go get ice cream." The truth finally comes out that Rachel thinks Harriet does try to control her a bit, and they argue for a while.
It is true. That's definitely.
Harriet kind of tries to control everyone a little bit. She's pretty.
Yeah.
She's bossy. She's bossy. She's a strong woman, but she's very bossy.
Very bossy.
Next we see Eddie in the stairway, and he is looking fly.
Of course he is.
Flyer than usual. And he's telling Laura, because of Rachel's story, he realizes he's a ladies' man, and he wants to go to Linda Fontana's house to ask her out.
That name. What a great name.
That is a great name.
Linda Fontana.
According to Laura, she's the prettiest girl in the school, and there's no way she'll go out with him.
Oh, stop, Laura.
Laura is
just jealous.
She is. And I don't know, he basically says, well, we'll find out. And he says, Edward Stud Winslow is about to go.
Yes.
So,
you know what's kind of weird, though? Eddie is a freshman in high school, right? 15?
Yeah, probably freshman, maybe sophomore.
So maybe they're middle school and high schoolers together. How would Laura know she's?
Ooh, that's true. Well,
unless Laura's
she's in on the high school
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
cool.
I knew who was hot and who wasn't in high school before I got there.
That's true.
You had to scope it out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we're in the kitchen, and Harriet's cooking, and Carl asks if Rachel and her have made up yet, and they have not. Rachel comes in, and there's a whole scene of, Carl, can you tell Rachel this? Carl, can you tell Harriet this?
Oh, no.
And, he's aggravated, and both girls storm off, and, Rachel storms out of the kitchen, Harriet kind of storms to the other end of the kitchen, and Carl goes to talk to Harriet and says she needs to talk to her sister and make up. I mean, what a great husband.
Yeah.
He's just sweetheart.
Carl is.
And she's mad because she knows that he's right. They need to make up. Not a commercial, but then it kind of pans over up to Rachel's room. And Laura walks in, and Rachel admits this is the worst fight that she and Harriet have ever been in. All these years, 30 plus years of being sisters. This is
the worst. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is cream of the crop of fights for them. Laura then talks about how she treats Judy like dirt, but they always make up with. She always makes up with her because they're sisters and they love each other. And there's a little more to it. She just kind of talking about how she treats her like dirt to put her in her place, but they're sisters. And then Judy enters the room, and Laura turns around and get out of here, you little twerp, or whatever she yells, and throws a pillow at her.
Yep.
And Judy slams the door, and Rachel says, you should apologize, Laura. And Laura says, oh, I'll apologize because we wouldn't want it to ruin our relationship. It's just a little fight.
Yeah.
And she leaves.
Wow. Laura is wise beyond her age.
Yes, and the sentimental music starts up as Laura is leaving the room, and Rachel, you can see it, her wheels are turning. She realizes she needs to make amends with her sister. So then, right away in the hallway, it shows Judy and Laura, and they're talking about how they tricked. Judy came in purposely. Laura planned the conversation with Rachel.
Was definitely Judy's best acting role ever.
Yes.
Ever.
They say something like, that worked. Surely Aunt Rachel and Mom will talk again because of that. And they do a fist bump or
a high five.
Yeah, high five. Maybe a forearm bump.
Whatever the kid.
Chest bump.
They did not hug.
They didn't hug. This family don't hug.
Winslows do not hug.
No, they ain't.
No. They're normal.
Right.
They're normal.
Now Rachel goes down to the kitchen with Harriet and says that they need to talk. Harriet kind of doesn't want to, but then they do. Rachel basically tells her that she feels disrespected and pushed around. And Harriet ends up apologizing and compliments Rachel on her qualities of her values, her writing abilities, and other such things.
Wow.
So then, second time now in the episode, the sentimental music starts up again, and they decide to be more upfront and honest with each other. Couldn't we all agree that being upfront and honest would be the best medicine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down for that. I'm glad that we're having another spot in this house besides the porch to have.
Yes, I was gonna say
sentimental talks.
That was actually something for me to mention later. That this is the first time that a conflict is resolved without the back porch being involved.
Porch swing.
Yep. So when they say they decide to be upfront and honest, they hug. A nice embrace at the counter there, and Carl busts in the door and hugs them too.
Oh, so we are a hugging family.
They are.
Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, but what I find funny with that is it's almost literally they're we should be upfront and honest. I'm sorry, and they hug, and then Carl comes in. Was he behind the door listening?
He must have been.
He was probably not getting laid this whole time that they were.
Finally, tonight's the night.
Yes. Now, they're hugging, they're a nice embrace, and then Eddie comes in, and he just got his ass kicked.
Oh, no!
He's got ripped clothing.
What?
Tie is undone. Maybe a shoe missing.
Wild night for old Edward?
No.
Oh.
Carl says, did Linda Fontana do that to you?
Linda Fontana.
And he says, no, her boyfriend Bubba did. And
of course it's Bubba.
Yeah. He said, if Rachel writes another story, have her just leave me out of it. And the audience loves the joke.
I would too.
The end.
That's the end, huh?
That's the episode.
Nobody was really concerned with Eddie getting the shit beat out of him, though.
No, I mean, Carl helped him walk or whatever, and I think he said something.
But nobody's like, "Hey, we should call the cops."
Right? No, Carl
is a cop. Yeah,
he was. Yeah, wouldn't you think he'd be a little more concerned?
Yeah, guess not.
Carl said, the next time you go try and talk to a girl, make sure she doesn't have a boyfriend named Bubba or something. He doesn't care if she has a boyfriend. Just make sure it's not Bubba. So my trivia for this episode, the hug between Carl, Harriet, and Rachel in this episode is part of the opening segment montage.
Okay.
There's a little thing, you see it, where he runs in to hug, and it's not good trivia, but it's something. The other thing is, remember last episode where the girls were
talking about Judy and Laura?
Yep, Judy and Laura were in the kitchen, and Carl came in to do the bills.
Yes.
And they ran out. Now we know why. He got the water bill, and he was a beast.
Yeah,
so
you are right.
He is pretty scary when he gets the bills, so it makes sense.
I don't know. I'm just shocked that... did we ever hear how much the water bill was?
No, we didn't hear how much. He was very...
To be that mad.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just average, and since he gets mad about bills so much.
Yeah, I mean... It's true. It's true. They set it up with the second episode talking about it. I don't know if that was planned or not, but it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. So the recap for me on this is, truthfully, this whole episode is Carl's fault. So if Carl wouldn't have been so mad and possessive about the water situation, I mean, obviously built up anger between the whole family. So when they all were fighting in the living room, and she was like, bingo, story about my pissed off family, it was technically Carl's fault.
That's true.
So maybe in the back of Carl's mind, he realized that this is his fault, but he wanted to weasel through it all, and so Harriet wouldn't find out that if she thought about it, it was technically his fault, so that's why he embraced the big hug.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. That's my take on this.
Yeah. I mean, he caused a big rift.
Yeah, he did.
He created the worst fight between Harriet and Rachel that has ever happened in their lives.
And they didn't even know it was Carl's fault.
Yeah. He gets away scot-free on this. They had to talk out their differences, but Carl got to...
Yeah.
I mean, he went, sexless for however long, probably, but...
Well, at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, at least. That's true.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. Wow. So our next episode of Family Matters is Rachel's first date.
Oh!
And obviously it's not a real first date. I mean...
Well, since her husband
has
passed away, that's what you mean now.
Yeah.
I wonder who the lucky fellow is.
You know what would be cool?
What?
Is if we're Uncle Jesse. She
that would be... I think she could.
Uncle Jesse would not be able to handle little Richie.
No. Well, could he? No. He
Little
deals
Richie's
with
better
Michelle.
Little Richie so far is better than Michelle has been.
Yeah.
But,
actually, man, that would have been a good...
What if it's Joey? That's what the Winslows need, is a little Joey in their lives.
They do not need a Joey in their lives. Oh, my gosh. Oh, that would be terrible.
That would just bomb the show.
That would. The show would be done.
Yeah.
Could you see, Popeye and all of his stupid acts? No.
It just wouldn't go well for him.
It would be terrible.
All right. Now, let's hop into Carl's police car.
Oh!
We can turn on the sirens.
To get there faster, huh?
Yeah.
Is he going to allow beer?
I don't know. You might be able to talk him into it.
I'm sure he would. Wait, do I get to sit in the front to to hit the siren? You get to be behind the cage.
If you're in the cage, could you drink beer? I mean, you're in the back seat.
Wait. Okay, so I'm going to sit in the back seat.
Yeah.
Okay, you sit up front.
All right, I'll hit the thing. And we'll cruise on from Chicago over to San Francisco for a little Full House.
Sweet. I hope that siren's going the whole time. Wait, no, that's an ambulance. How does that... Does it make...
That's like a fire truck.
Anyways.
Luckily, we don't know too much about police sirens.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Other than getting... Other than the couple speeding tickets I've had, and when we got busted for stealing no trespassing signs.
But there was no sirens.
Right, they just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go to some Full House.
Thanks, Carl! Thanks for the drop-off! So, since the cop's gone now, what's happening in Full House then?
Did you have your couple of beers to relax for this?
Yeah, Carl had to stop in what's that state that nobody cares about? Nebraska?
Yeah.
We stopped and saw
tumbleweeds,
and I had to pee, so he pulled over.
Right.
Kept the sirens on, though.
Yeah, there you go. So we're at episode 3 of Full House, the first day of school.
Oh, I did not drink enough for this.
You had all the way from Chicago to San Francisco. So we're going back in time now. October 2nd, 1987 was Full House's third episode, and this one had a rating of 7.1 out of 10.
Okay.
So solid. Not
great,
but not great. No cold open, it just starts up. My favorite part of the opening, I just wanted to hit this, is when the guys are walking in the park, all three of them are walking, and the two girls walk past, and Jesse, like, beelines it towards them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
They walk by, he looks, and he kind of throws his hands up, because I think Danny was talking, and he throws his hands up, and he beelines to the girls, and then Joey, like, starts wandering over to and shrugs to Danny and walks with, like he has a chance.
Yeah. I better go see if I can tag along and get the one that Uncle Jesse doesn't want.
I can pick up the scraps.
Yeah. What a vulture. Joey the vulture.
So, we begin the episode where DJ and Kimmy Gibbler are on DJ's bed looking at books.
Oh,
and this is Kimmy Gibbler's first rodeo here, live and in person. We heard her voice, but now we see her in the flesh.
And it sounds like they're studying mathematical books, right?
Well, they're talking about school starting, so they're not. They're looking at stuff. Maybe they're organizing their new notebooks.
Yeah,
they're
trapper keepers.
Yes, trapper keepers were great. Did you have a cool trapper keeper? I can't remember any of mine. But...
I think I might have had like spaceships on mine or something.
Yeah,
I think the girls usually had that purple tiger on their trapper.
I remember those. Yep. So they're talking about school starting and how they need to find seats in the back of class together because they can more easily pass notes that way.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
I don't think I passed notes. She's 10 years old. I don't think I ever passed notes. I didn't pass notes until I was
barely write at that age. The hell?
You can barely write now.
Yeah. Nobody would understand what my notes said.
I'd be able to understand.
Yeah, you would.
So Stephanie barges in, complain. Now, they always make it seem like she's like, get out of here, you know.
Yeah.
It's her room, too.
Yeah, share the room.
Yeah.
It's still new to him, though.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of forget about that. So Stephanie barges in, complaining about not knowing what to wear for her first day of kindergarten.
Oh. So she's really concerned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She needs to know what to wear. DJ and Kimmy pretty much ignore her and then talk about not wanting to sit by Arthur Wilcox.
Ew!
Yes. And my guess, stinky kid? Probably.
Yeah, probably bad breath.
Yeah.
Probably not wearing deodorant.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Yeah, I can do it.
10 years old, you need deodorant.
Yeah, kids do. What's his last name again? Sorry.
Wilcox.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah, he got... Artie Wilcox.
Artie Wilcox.
They finally acknowledge Stephanie and they say she has nothing to worry about because all you need to know in kindergarten is the Pledge of Allegiance. And then they recite it really fast. Go!
I pledge allegiance to the I know it. Just been drinking.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow.
So,
all three of them do that?
No. Stephanie doesn't.
Yeah.
DJ and Kimmy passed kindergarten, so they know. They know
I guess I'm not passing kindergarten yet. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Damn it.
So Uncle Jesse and Joey come in, holding Michelle.
How many, the footsteps on this carpet? It's like, my goodness, that carpet must be just tracked. It's a worn out carpet.
Yep. They tell Kimmy her mom is there to get her, so she has to leave. Surprisingly, she just gets up and leaves.
Doesn't throw a fit.
No.
Man, they are making Kimmy seem to be like a great girl.
She's an outstanding person.
Yeah, she knows her pledge of allegiance. She's following her mom's orders to come home.
Yep. So DJ and Stephanie comment on how messy Michelle's face and hands are, and Uncle Jesse and Joey say they need to give her a bath, but ask one another if they even know how to do that.
Dude, I don't understand.
Now you picture. So I was thinking about this because this is all I think about.
She's a baby, right?
Well, yeah, she's a baby, but Uncle Jesse and Joey don't know how to give her a bath. Now, I was trying to decide. Danny had his boxing thing.
Yeah.
There was the first episode was probably during the day. The very first night, second episode was at night, that night. So this is only, that was probably Saturday.
Right. So this is Sunday.
So this is Sunday night. Yeah. So at first I was like, come on, guys, how long have you lived with a baby? And you haven't, even asked, if we have to give her a bath, what do we do?
Yeah, how do we do that?
I know. I mean, before I had a kid, I didn't know how to do any of this crap with babies.
Yeah.
But if I were told, can you come help me raise my kids? One of them is a pretty new baby.
Yeah.
I would probably take some notes or watch some things going on. No, they don't know how to do it.
But maybe Danny never gave her a bath. Any of the girls' baths.
That's true. Maybe
changed the diaper.
Pam probably did it all. Danny is...
Oh, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this now.
Danny just sat back, watched TV, drank beer. But Joey actually says he does know how to give a bath to a baby. He says it's kind of like washing a puppy, only there's no tail. He is so funny.
So stupid.
So now we're over to the bathroom, and water's running. You see the bathroom. This is the first time we've seen the Tanner's bathroom, by the way.
Only bathroom, right? Upstairs.
Yeah. Upstairs bathroom. I mean, that's great architectural things there.
Get your steps in if you got to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't break a leg or two.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're peeing outside.
Or you got to get the chairlift.
Yeah. Except their stairs are so weird.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got 4 sets of stairs to get upstairs.
That's true.
This is not a cripple's house here. We see the bathroom, and no one's in there that we see. You just see the shower curtain closed and an empty bathroom. And Jesse walks in with Michelle, pulls the curtain, and Joey's standing in the bathtub in full swim gear, a cap, life vest, goggles, the works.
Is there a rubber ducky in that bathtub?
Oh yeah. And Jesse, when he pulls the curtain, he goes, "This is the scariest shower scene since Psycho."
So true.
So now Jesse hands Joey Michelle, and then he insults Joey by saying Michelle has better toned muscles than he does. Which isn't far off. Then Jesse lets Joey know that the laugh machine called, and his act is actually moved up, which Joey's pumped about because it's prime time. He's on prime time at the laugh machine. Then he immediately gets nervous.
Yeah, he probably realizes, oh my gosh, I'm not funny at all. All I can do is Popeye jokes to these adults that aren't going to find this funny.
A quick scene, so that happens in the bathroom. Then a quick flashes over to the girls' room before the commercial, where Stephanie wakes DJ up to have her look at another outfit. And
Michelle is still up. The girls are in bed now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then Stephanie says she's ready for kindergarten. She's been practicing the Pledge of Allegiance, and then she like butchers it. She stutters through it, and it's a really stupid scene. So it goes to the commercial, and when we come back, Jesse and Joey are in the bathtub, and Jesse steps out of the bathtub with Michelle. So he's fully dressed. Jesse is. He's just got his pant legs rolled like knee high.
Okay.
And he was like sitting on the edge of the bathtub. So he sets Michelle down. He wraps her in a towel and like puts her in like one of those bouncer sort of a seats.
Yeah.
Then he hops back in the tub, puts his feet back in, and sits while Joey's like stretched out in the bathtub, and Jesse's soaking his feet in the bathtub. And Joey then thanks Uncle Jesse for helping him with Michelle in the bath. And Uncle Jesse says, it isn't a problem. He doesn't have a date until midnight.
Wow.
And I can't remember what they say something about the date, and essentially Jesse mentions that his date is with a topless ballerina dancer.
Whoa! Yeah. Oh!
On Full House.
Check one for Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, that's the second one.
0 for old Eddie.
Nope. So 2-0.
2-0. Uncle Jesse.
Yep. Vanessa, now the ballerina dancer. He is.
Man!
So Joey and Jesse then talk about how it's been, like, Joey starts going into, like, almost like drunk Joey mode, where he starts reminiscing about his life.
Oh, no.
As he says, it's been a dream of mine since I was 4 to be a comedian. And then Uncle Jesse says, oh, I know what you mean, man. Because, Joey...
He was 4.
Yeah. And Joey, like, he creepily is like, is this making any sense to you? And Jesse's like, yeah, it does. It's since I was 6, I dreamed of being a musician. Ever since I saw Elvis perform on TV. So there's another Elvis reference.
You love it.
He's getting there.
So 2 grown men in a bathtub.
Yeah, discussing life dreams.
And
as if they're talking like they're drunk. Yeah.
Some sentimental things going on here.
I'm wondering.
Heart-to-heart conversation.
Yeah. I'm wondering, instead of this camper, maybe we start...
Filming in a bathtub together?
Recording in a bathtub.
Yeah, we could.
I don't know.
Can we have candles?
Yeah.
Always sets the mood for a good podcast.
So now this is where the 2 men in a bathtub, this now is where it really gets weird.
2 men in a bathtub.
The before wasn't as weird when they were in the bathtub talking. Now it's getting weird.
Yeah.
Because, so Joey's in the tub. Jesse's near him with his feet in the tub. Michelle's not in the tub. And Jesse, so he's talking about Elvis, and he starts singing Hard-Headed Woman. I can't think of the words, but he starts singing Hard-Headed Woman. And Joey, he's all pumped hearing Jesse, like, talk about his dream. And Joey says, Jesse, sing me another song. And so then Jesse starts in with Love Me Tender. And they're like, and Joey,
me slow.
And Joey's like totally into it, and he's like, they're like leaning so close together, as Jesse's like serenading Joey with "Love Me Tender," and they're locking eyes, and then Danny walks in, presumably from work. And they stop singing because Danny just walked in. And Danny, like, his voice when he says it, he's like, oh my God. And they say, we were just giving Michelle a bath. And Danny looks over. He goes, then why isn't Michelle in the bath? And
I love it.
Yeah, then they go, well, there's no room in the bath.
Duh, Danny.
Yeah. So then Danny picks up Michelle, like, he's super creeped out, and he goes, I'm gonna go check on the other girls.
Contemplating, did I make the right decision to have these 2 creeps live with me?
Exactly. So then, like, right after Danny leaves, Jesse just starts singing again, Love Me Tender. So then there's like a little thing with him going into the bedroom. It's pretty stupid where it just shows Stephanie in a like ball gown essentially. And,
oh yeah, because Danny was like, girls,
are you guys asleep?
Are you guys asleep? Well, no shit, Danny. They got tomorrow's the first day of school, and now you're gonna wake them up. And then what? Stephanie's like, I'm ready, Dad, and she has like a full out pink dress, like ball gown dress. Yep. Ball gown?
Yeah, it's dress? like they say.
Like a prom dress for a little kid, yeah.
Because Danny says, tomorrow's the first day of school, not the prom.
Yeah. Oh, does he? Wow.
Yeah. So, you got that right. So, then the next morning, Danny's in the kitchen cooking. When Joey and Jesse come downstairs, Danny says, how'd the rest of the bath go? And Jesse, like really seriously, after Danny says that, he goes, I finished singing Love Me Tender, did a short medley from Viva Las Vegas, then I got the hell out of the tub. So funny. So now the girls come down and Danny shows Stephanie her new Jetsons lunchbox.
Sweet!
And Joey.
The old tin ones, too.
Yep, and Joey grabs that lunchbox and he goes to bring it over to her. No.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, George.
No.
He does a couple different Jetsons voices, but he especially was with Astro. He's so good with voices.
Oh my gosh.
And we're realizing that now, 3 episodes in. He can do a lot of voices.
Wait, didn't that night he had a comedy thing at the match club thing?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. The voice box.
The laugh machine.
Laugh machine. Obviously, that didn't go well because we didn't hear about it.
Well, that's what I think Danny said. How'd it go last night? And then Joey said, it was like he just kind of whatever. And then Danny
didn't go good.
Yeah, and then that's when Danny said, I'm not talking about the laugh machine. I'm talking about the rest of the bath. So yeah, probably bombed. Yeah. Joey was probably again drank himself silly.
So the Stephanie gets this sweet Jetsons lunchbox.
Oh yeah, and Danny then shows DJ her new Barbie lunchbox.
Oh yeah, what voice did Joey do for that?
Joey looks at her and he goes, I don't do Barbie. And DJ is not having it. She don't want no lunchbox.
No lunchbox. You know what? If this was 10 years later in life, he could have been like, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. This fantastic.
Maybe he
with a plastic. Let's go, Barbie.
That was the best.
Aqua.
Yeah.
That's a shout out to Aqua. I love that song. Yeah. Anyways, so she's like, not having this lunchbox, Dad.
She says 5th graders don't carry lunchboxes.
What the hell do they carry?
I don't know. Brown paper bags, maybe.
Oh. Did she take the lunchbox?
I think so. I think she still had to take it.
Okay.
I mean, she needed lunch, right?
Yeah, so...
Oh, actually, Danny says, take it and try and sell it to a kindergartner. He says,
bingo!
Yeah. He's like,
wow, life lessons right there.
Anything to make some money.
Yeah,
we
for
need
his family.
Yeah. Joey's thing bombed last night. We're not making any money soon. So they start to leave the kitchen to go to school, and Danny wants to videotape them leaving. So they walk, and they walk into the living room. Danny's in front of them.
Get that big old suitcase video camera.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And they walk, and Jesse and Joey start singing a really stupid song, which apparently is from Fiddler on the Roof, which I don't know anything about.
Well, how does the song go? Can you sing it a little bit? Is it like, there they go.
Yes. There she is. The girl I love. I don't even know. It's really awkward sounding, and they're singing it.
They're pretty theatrical about it.
Oh yeah, they're bringing their arms up, and so they were walking to the door, and it's just
a lot
really
of singing going on.
Oh
the vocals in the house are just off the walls right now.
And as much as Uncle Jesse was freaked out about this whole thing, he's loving this.
He's digging it now. Yeah.
So the girls are really confused. Their faces are the best when they're because all 3 of them guys start singing it next to each other, and the girls are by the door, and they do this really nasty, like, confused face, and then they just kind of, like, wave by, because none of them are, like, kissing them goodbye. None of them are just saying,
keep
have a
going
great
with the song.
first day. Yeah, they just keep singing. So
They never can not finish a song.
No.
Once they start a song, they got to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Jesse, only a few medleys of Viva Las Vegas.
Yes.
Then
it's...
you got the hell out of there. So then the girls leave, shut the door. The guys kind of finish singing, then it ends, and Stephanie comes back right in, and she goes, I changed my mind, I'm not going. Dun, dun, dun. The suspenseful music plays, and we go to a commercial.
Oh, my God.
What's going to happen? It's commercial.
Were they taking the bus, or was Kimmy's mom? I think Kimmy's mom was waiting for him.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I think
Kimmy's mom.
Oh.
Great
mom.
Great family.
Yeah.
I would love to have them as neighbors.
Yeah.
So after the commercial, the guys ask why she doesn't want to go, and she says she's sick. She's obviously lying.
Yeah.
But then Joey teaches her really quick how to act sick, because that's something you want to teach a little kid.
Kindergartner.
Yeah. Danny then tells Stephanie he will take her to school, but they still kind of pry as to why she doesn't want to go. And she says she doesn't know anyone, and she doesn't think she'll make any friends. Valid. I mean, you're kindergartner. You're a little nervous. Joey says, it's only scary because it's your first time. And I'm so excited. Uncle Jesse, after Joey says, it's only scary because it's your first time, Uncle Jesse says, first times don't have to be scary. They can also be exciting. Then he says, I remember a first time of mine.
No!
And yes, he is. Now, because he goes on.
Oh, he does go on, huh?
He goes on a little bit. Now, he's not talking about that first time.
Oh, okay. Not the first time with the old Vanessa or whatever shirtless, topless,
ballerina dancer. Yeah, no. He's he goes on to tell Stephanie, the kindergartner, Danny and Joey, about going to a drive-in when he was 14 with a girl named Marissa. And he's just kind of like, he's implying a few things, and then Danny's like, he's looking pissed.
He's like, oh, this story needs to end?
Yeah, and Stephanie's looking really confused. And, like, Danny cuts him off. And,
14? She must have been 16? Going to a drive-in?
Yeah.
Ballin'!
Yeah.
Check one off the list. That's 3.
3 for Jesse. And he's got some catching up to do.
Oh, he'll get there. He'll get there.
And Jesse says, well, let's just say first times can be great. And Danny says, that doesn't help, Jesse. And Joey says, but it was darn entertaining. So now we're showing the school. We're at the school now. New scene. Danny is bringing Stephanie he's bringing Stephanie up to the door, and a kid runs out. Like, Danny's like saying, see, this place looks great. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
And a kid comes running out, and she's, no, I'm never coming back. Oh, no. Because that happened a lot at our kindergarten.
Actually.
Oh, gosh.
This is preschool, though.
Okay.
My mom tells me that she dropped me off, and she was leaving the parking lot, and I started running after the car, trying to catch up to it. And
awesome.
Mrs. Rydecki
yes.
had to come get me or something
Wow.
like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So our teacher,
Yeah.
Mrs. Rydecki. Yeah.
And I was in kindergarten. You could you had a friend at school already.
Well, because it was only like part days.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I don't
that's right.
for some reason I don't know how that'll work. But yeah. So I understand that,
All right.
that kid.
All right. I don't remember a story of me ever doing it, but
yeah. It happens.
Yeah. Well,
like
to the mama's boys, I guess.
Yeah, it's mama's boys.
Except that was a girl running out.
Oh, man.
So
I feel her pain.
Yeah. Anyways, Danny finally convinces her to go into the school, and he's still outside. Oh, he says she needs to go into school, and he needs to change Michelle. So I don't know where he goes to change her, but he goes somewhere. And Stephanie goes into the school, and Uncle Jesse's sitting at a desk in the school.
Wait, what?
Yep. Yeah, he's sitting in a desk, and he's in like a long work,
like a jumpsuit.
Yes, jumpsuit. That's the name. And it shows a picture of a bug upside down with a
Oh, and his pest control. His dad's pest control business.
Yes. So he does mention his part. He was, I can't remember how he says it, but he had time before he had to go to his exterminating pest control job.
So you're telling me the school just let
a mullet-headed
jumpsuit pest control guy walk in?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So it gets even better than this too.
This teacher is awesome.
Yeah.
For paying attention.
This teacher is no Miss Rydecki.
Yeah. Yeah. So letting anybody walk in this school.
Yeah. So he tells her she'll make friends easily. He shouts, "Free milks! Compliments of Stephanie Tanner!" He grabbed the milk cart.
I didn't know he got free milk at the beginning of the day.
Yeah. Well, it might have been there, like ready for lunch or snack time or whatever they do with the milks. But he gives Stephanie the credit for the free milks.
Nice of him.
And it doesn't help because no one cares about Stephanie. They just run up, grab the milks, and run. And Stephanie's like, "Great, now I have no friends and no milk." Yeah.
Jeez.
So Jesse says he'll charm someone to be her friend. So yes, and now he super creepily, because he says I'll charm someone, and then he looks over at a little girl and like does a little eye and like lip thing, and then he walks over to struts over to the little girl and he goes, "Hey, little girl, how would you like to make a new friend?"
Yes. No! Oh my gosh! I am not checking this one off the board.
No. That might be one negative for us.
Oh no.
So right when he says that, she goes, "Stranger!" And now the teacher finally notices some strange man in her classroom.
With the mullet.
Yeah. And asks who he is. And he says, I'm Stephanie's dad.
Okay, all right.
And Stephanie looks at him and goes, "Okay." And the teacher goes, "Well, it's a good thing you're here. You're an exterminator, right?" And so she goes, we have a bug problem over here. So she takes him away from the class.
So now Stephanie's all alone.
Yep, Stephanie's back with in the class all by herself. And Joey walks in the classroom.
What?
Yep.
What the hell is Joey there now?
Yeah, so he comes in and he says, "Are you still having trouble making friends? Or are you having trouble making friends?" Or whatever. And
we all know Joey doesn't have any friends, so
right.
He's going to help out now?
Joey's the good one to help you make friends. Oh, so he says, "You know what makes friends is a good game of Duck, Duck, Goose." So he gathers all the kids to play Duck, Duck, Goose.
Isn't there... There's other parents in this classroom right now, too, by the way.
Is there? I don't remember.
Yes, okay. There is. So, none of the other parents are like, "Yeah, let's let this strange
this guy just walked in.
Say, have my kids sit around in a circle and play Duck, Duck, Goose."
No concern.
No concern.
Go for it. So they all play Duck, Duck, Goose, and the commotion that is going on with Duck, Duck, Goose causes the teacher to run back in, and she says, "Now, who is this?" And he goes, "I'm this little girl's father." And Stephanie looks up and goes, "Okay."
What?
And then Danny comes rushing in. So now it's Uncle Jesse standing there, the teacher, Stephanie, Joey, and now Danny and holding Michelle. And she goes, "And who is this?" And he's like, "I'm this beautiful..."
Danny's like,
"I'm this beautiful girl's dad." And the teacher's obviously confused because then, Stephanie's just like, "Yeah."
Wait, Danny wasn't like, "What are you guys doing here?"
Yeah, no.
Okay.
He was pretty sure they'd show up.
Yeah.
Sure. Then, while they're like all confused about who's the real dad or whatever, they look out and DJ's scaling the wall.
Oh, no.
This. And then it cuts to a commercial. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh. So she's already skipping school on the first day or trying to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
She's
a rebel.
So we come back from commercial and Danny yells, "Freeze!" And DJ stops. And she says she's mad because she was put in Geeksville, USA, or rather known as the smart class. And
I would be that kid, though, that'd be like, "You are a geek!" Because I would never be able to get into the smart classes. Ever.
No. Me either. And
so you'd be right there making fun of DJ with me.
We'd be.
Wait, I am right now.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Perfect sense now.
And but guess who's not in the smart class? Kimmy
Kimmy.
Gibbler.
Oh my God, that's her best friend.
Yes. So Danny says like not to worry because she'll see Kimmy. She lives right next door. Like,
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
That's true.
But I mean, he's saying it as a dad, and I feel like I actually had a conversation with Elijah earlier this year. Yeah, because he wasn't in the same class as his best friend.
Yeah.
He's not in this, like, they don't have a smart class or a dumb class.
Right. They just have different different classes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he was worried, like, his friend wasn't talking to him, and I basically said, well, you can still see, you can still...
Got to meet new guys, new friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he has, and then he's actually buddies with the guy.
So, wow, you really, this is a life lesson that's
I learned.
Taught. You learned everything you know from Danny right here.
Yep, I took this to heart. So then Danny tries to tell her that that DJ needs to try new things.
Is there sentimental music playing?
No, there's not. So he just tells her she needs to try new things. Like this will all work out. And Stephanie now comes back out of her classroom and she's like beelining it away from her.
Oh no,
she's trying to leave.
Wait, where's Joey and Jesse?
In the classroom still. Why they didn't stop her, I don't know. But then Danny starts to like scold Stephanie, and DJ cuts him off and says, "Can I talk to my sister, woman to woman?" Jeez. And Danny's like, "Why not? I'm not
I really do. Thanks, DJ, because I don't want to put up with this shit."
Yeah, obviously me, Jesse, and Joey aren't doing jack
And
shit.
I left Michelle with a stranger in the classroom.
I think he's holding Michelle.
He? Okay.
He's got her under control.
Okay, yeah. For now.
Yeah, for the time being. So in this talk there's like a funny joke where DJ's like explaining to Stephanie, like, you don't have anything to worry about. You at least can make new friends. My friend isn't even in my class, like blah blah blah, and she said she's in the other class, and Stephanie says, is it because she's an airhead? And this is the way DJ defends Kimmy. She says, she's not an airhead. She just hates thinking.
Perfect. Makes perfect sense.
It's true, though. So basically, DJ then tells Stephanie the exact same thing Danny was telling her and tries to, like, play it off like, I didn't just hear this from Dan.
Yeah.
That's from me. So then she kind of tells Stephanie, you always have a friend in the school. Me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So then they hug. The audience, studio audience, gives a big old clap for their hug. DJ
pisses me off.
DJ then leaves for her classroom, and Stephanie goes back into her classroom, where all three guys are sitting at a desk table thing, like one of those super low seats.
Yeah.
So they're all sitting there. Danny is holding Michelle. The guys are sitting there. And she sits in a little circle time with the rest of her class, and she gives them a thumbs up from the circle. And the guys hold up milk cartons and like give a little like cheers thing to her.
Joey probably had eggnog in it or something.
Yeah.
Spiked.
Yeah. He just brought out his flask. And so then the class starts singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and the guys like get up, like, job well done. We did nothing to help the situation, but we're gonna pat ourselves on the back. So they start heading out, and as they walk away, it like zooms in to Uncle Jesse, and he's seen with 3 pin the tail on the donkey tails on his ass.
No way! I did not know that.
So how does that even like? What did he do?
Why was the teacher letting the kids?
Maybe the teacher was the one playing.
Oh, check that one off the list.
So then that's the end. The audience cracks up at the donkey tails on his ass. And so, little trivia.
The ass is on his ass.
The trivia with this one is, this is the first episode which features a groan from the audience. Not like a groan, but like the... like a happy when they hugged.
Oh,
yes, yes.
When the sisters.
Yeah, the sisters hugged and resolved their conflict. But it's also the first one where there was no sentimental music.
Oh, okay.
So the
gotcha.
heart-to-heart talk wasn't deep
that's
enough.
Weird. They're trying something new, it sounds like.
Yeah. And here, I didn't have this, but the Family Matters episode had 2 sentimental musics. So it made up for the fact that this one didn't have
Wow,
it.
that's weird.
It is weird.
That's a good find.
Yeah. So then, also, another trivia, earlier in the episode, Joey says, I don't do Barbie voices. However, now it's later in the series, but Joey does do a Barbie voice and a Ken voice.
Whoa.
So was he lying, or was that a new trick up his sleeve that he came up?
I think he was lying.
Or do you think that inspired him? He said he realized he was caught off guard.
Nope, you're right. That's what happened.
He went up right after
100%.
They don't show it, but right after the lunchbox scene, he went up to the bathroom and rehearsed.
I bet you're right. I'm gonna call Uncle Joey right now. Ask him.
Yeah, do it. And then last trivia is, this is the 3rd episode in a row. Jesse said hell again. He is a potty mouth. Yes.
Man.
So.
Rebel.
Yeah.
Well, so what I'm taking away from this, or what I'm taking from this episode is, I'm a little confused.
Okay. There's a lot to be confused about in this one.
Yeah. The biggest, I'm going to start from the freshest thing in my head. Nobody took DJ back to her classroom.
Right.
Now, her ass is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because that bell already rang.
That's
and
true.
She's hopping a fence. And Danny was like, yeah, okay, go back to your classroom. Like, that teacher's going to be pissed off as hell at her.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Danny, she said, let me talk to my sister woman to woman. And then, he just both kids were trying to ditch school.
Yeah.
And he just walked back and sat in the classroom instead of, being off in the distance and still keeping an eye on your kids.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. I don't know.
What do you think she gets for that? She's late after the bell? Detention? Warning?
I would hope so. You can't just do that on the first day of school.
No.
Well, maybe.
First day of school.
She probably lied, said, hey, my locker, I couldn't get my locker combination on.
She's in Geeksville, USA. So the teacher's got to be smart, too. She knows she's lying.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
You're right. Well, okay, fine. I couldn't find my right classroom. That probably happened, too.
Could be.
Debunked it.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
You have more to say?
Not really. I mean, I'm still blown away that Uncle Jesse and Joey were in a tub together.
That's an amazing scene.
I guess we never heard how his date went at midnight.
No, we never heard his date.
That could have been a whole episode by itself. A topless ballerina dancer.
Yeah.
Where the hell do you go for that? Where do you see that at? How do you get a hold of her?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jesse's all over the place.
And at midnight. Midnight.
Yeah. She's probably after her shift, maybe. Her topless dancing shift. She was busy till midnight.
Do you think maybe these are just all when he says he's going out at midnight, strip clubs?
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been an act for a stripper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A ballerina dancer.
That's true. He probably was at strip clubs more often than we're told.
Yeah.
Which we're never told.
I'll tell you what.
We're going to find out how many times Joey's drunk and Uncle Jesse's at strip clubs. And Danny, we still got to figure out what skeletons are in his closet.
I can't. I'm sure there's many.
So you good on your recap?
I'm good, yeah.
Right.
It all makes sense to me now.
Yeah. Well, the next episode of Full House is called The Return of Grandma.
Oh, Grandma's coming back!
Grandma Claire.
Grandpa's
God,
I've had enough of you.
Yeah. He's like, you're back for a week or a weekend or whatever.
Yeah, it was a weekend.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what... I do know because I watched it, but I think this is a little bit of time passed. But this is the weekend.
Everybody's settled in the house now, and we're good to go. Okay.
Yeah, we're in full swing, But,
sweet.
So Return of Grandma is next week's episode. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I want to see what Grandma has to say.
Yeah, between the Return of Grandma and Rachel's first date.
Yeah, these are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Rachel's first date, I mean, That guy has no clue how lucky he's going to be.
Yeah, you don't know what he's getting into. All right, well, thank you all for tuning in to this episode of TGIF Renegades.
Coming at ya!
We, as always, we're happy that you gave us a listen, and we hope
Thanks for letting me drink beer.
Thanks for listening to us talk, drink beer, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Get away from the kids for a few minutes.
Good Friday.
Yeah. So we hope you'll join us for the next episode. And as I always mention, these episodes are available on Hulu. You can just watch them either before we talk about them or after to figure out what we screwed up.
And like me, I always just watch them on Kenny's account on Hulu. So you can do that too.
No, don't give them my information.
Okay, sorry.
Let's keep that between us.
So, yeah. So like I always say,
thank
God
it's
Friday! Hey, Kenny, grab me another beer.